friends. Welcome to your Pisces horoscope for July 2025. July 2025 is your time to put into practice all the qualities that your ruler, Neptune, has awakened in you over the past few months. Neptune, currently in a fire sign, has ignited your inner strength, your inner warrior, your achiever. Now, it's time to not only feel these qualities within yourself, but also to apply them to concrete, earthly matters. However, the world works in such a way that the stronger and more confident we are, the more powerful people we deal with. The latter part of July brings a noticeable increase in conflict potential, which will manifest uniquely for each zodiac sign. For you, Pisces, this conflict potential will show up in your 7th house, the sector of partnerships. It's like a test of how well you've learned to protect yourself, your boundaries, and your interests. The conjunction of Mars and the South Karmic lunar node is essentially shouting to you that old-style relationships need to change. They are bursting at the seams. This could mean changing the principles of your agreements with an employer or clients, or rethinking the power dynamics in your personal partnerships. July 2020 and 2023 are a time of karmic testing to see how well you've learned to choose yourself. This doesn't mean being selfish, but while respecting both yourself and your partner, you must be able to say no. Overall, July 2025 is a wonderful time to recharge your batteries and start planning or even begin reorganizing your lifestyle or the very structure of your employment. Key astrological events in July for Pisces, all times Eastern Time. Let's dive deeper into the most important astrological events of July and their step-by-step impact on your sign. July 4th, Venus enters Gemini. On July 4th, the planet Venus moves into Gemini, entering your 4th house of the horoscope. Venus improves the area of life it transits through. For you, this is the sector that symbolizes your home, place of residence, family, internal family relationships, and all processes related to these matters. The Venus transit through this sector will occur from July 4th to August honest. Venus will enhance your family relationships and the overall atmosphere at home. It might also give you a desire to improve and beautify your living space, buying things for your home, decorating, purchasing interior items, or simply taking more care of your home. Venus in this sector makes you averse to conflicts at home. It gives a strong desire to enjoy your home environment. This is a time when you might do some home repairs. Some might move, others might focus more on household chores. The 4th house also symbolizes our connection to ancestors. So some might tend to ancestral graves or care for older relatives. Venus also symbolizes profit. So this is a time when you might receive income from your real estate. This could be a period when you profitably rent out your property or find a great deal on a rental yourself. You might also make purchases for your home. Since Venus will also conjoin Uranus, the symbol of unexpected events, this is a time when you might receive unexpected news from distant relatives. July 7th, Venus trine Pluto, Uranus enters Gemini. On July 7th, Venus will be in a lucky aspect to Pluto, affecting your 4th and 12th astrological houses. This is a powerful and positive aspect. This is a time when you might gain profit from a deal. Important and positive events could occur within your family. You might receive documents you've been waiting for, and these documents could be related to money, real estate, your possessions, or your place of residence. An important trip for you could also take place. This aspect also indicates an increase in your overall family income. Overall, this aspect gives the feeling that you can now rest on your laurels for a while. You might receive the results of past efforts or income from your unobvious work. And on this same day, July 7th, another very important event occurs. The planet Uranus, the symbol of progress, revolution, and renewal, changes signs and moves into your 4th astrological house, where it will remain for many years, about 8 years. Uranus spends 7 or 8 years in each sector of our horoscope, and it renews that area of our lives, whether we want it to or not. The next 7 years will bring you changes related to your place of residence, real estate ownership, and also shifts in family relationships or family dynamics. Those born in February will feel Uranus's influence first, followed by others as Uranus progresses through the zodiac. Uranus in this sphere brings experiences we haven't had before. For example, if you've never moved, a move might occur. Or if you've never sold a home or made sale transactions, such a situation might arise. Uranus brings new experiences. For more details on what Uranus might bring to each zodiac sign, there's a separate video on my channel, and I'll leave a link to it in the info box below this video. July 10th, full moon in Capricorn. On July 10th, at 10:07 p.m. a full moon occurs in Capricorn in your 11th house of the horoscope. A full moon signifies completion, clarity, and culmination. The 11th house is the house of society and our dreams. This is a time when you can bring a process you've been preparing for to fruition and receive results. For example, if you've been saving money for a trip, you might now buy tickets, book a tour, or the trip itself might already be happening. Or, if you've been taking courses, you might now pass an exam and receive a certificate of completion, or finally understand information you've been struggling with. Clarity and understanding have arrived. This is a time for the realization of a plan or idea you've been working on. It's a moment of culmination. The 11th house is also the house of society. A group event might take place, such as attending a birthday, wedding, or anniversary, or taking a trip as a whole group, like a tourist excursion. There might also be changes in your social circle. For example, a colleague might leave, and new people will come in to replace them. The 11th house is also the house of the internet, so you might make a large purchase online or receive documents or information you've been waiting for. This time might also bring a celebration or event related to other people's children. This is also a time when you might meet friends who live far away and whom you rarely see. Overall, a full moon in the 11th house brings a feeling of culmination, that what you've been striving for, working on, and waiting for has finally happened. July 13th, Sun trine North Node. On July 13th, the Sun will be in a lucky aspect to the North Karmic Lunar Node. This aspect will directly affect your sign. This is a time when you receive the impulse to realize important plans, make crucial decisions, or take significant steps. At the same time, this aspect seems to emphasize that you don't always have to be serious and responsible. Yes, you've gotten used to it. During Saturn's transit through your sign, starting in March 2023, you've become accustomed to approaching everything responsibly and seriously. But this aspect reminds you that you don't always need to act that way. Sometimes, precisely when we allow ourselves to relax and unwind, that's when the results or opportunities we've been waiting for arrive. This aspect is as if to say, put aside important and serious issues for a moment, take a break and clear your head, and immediately afterward, the necessary solutions and desired results will come. July 18th, August 11th, Mercury retrograde in Leo. From July 18th at 5:35 p.m. ET to August 11th at 2:05 a.m., Mercury will be in retrograde motion in your 6th house of the horoscope. This period brings a kind of retrospection where we rework, reprocess, rethink, rediscuss, or refile documents. Since Mercury will be retrograde in your 6th house, which symbolizes your living and working conditions, this is a time when you might redo things related to your work, such as re-signing contracts or renegotiating employment agreements with your employer. You might rehire people for tasks, even if they are one-time jobs. For example, if you periodically call a specific technician for appliance, repair, or maintenance, you might recontact the same person you regularly use for certain work. This could also be a nail technician, a car mechanic, or a home appliance repair person. The 6th house also symbolizes our healthy lifestyle. This is a time when you might undergo a repeat course of treatment, perhaps a preventative treatment, or have follow-up tests. This is a time when you might travel to a place you've been before, such as the same hotel or city you love to visit, or a place where you once lived. Also, during this time, a dispute with a colleague or neighbor about a topic you've already discussed but never resolved might resurface. July 20th, 23rd, Mars conjoins South Node. On July 22nd and 23rd, Mars will be in conjunction with the South Karmic lunar node in your partnership sector. This is a time that can accelerate the manifestation of issues that have already matured in your relationships. This is precisely the aspect we discussed at the beginning of this forecast. This is a time that can exacerbate existing relationship problems. This aspect indicates that old format relationships need to change. This can also manifest through the realization of certain issues in your partner's affairs. This isn't something unexpected. It's something that has essentially been brewing, but might now materialize faster than planned. For example, changes in your partner's work or schedule. This is a good time for active development of business collaborations. But again, this aspect demands that you show strength and the ability to say no and stand up for your rights. Since this conjunction of Mars and the karmic node will also be in a 10th square aspect to Venus, it indicates that to resolve any issues related to other people, you need to speak up. Problems or misunderstandings need to be discussed, because if you try to keep them silent, they will accumulate and then erupt impulsively. To achieve understanding and resolve problems, you need to talk about them and try to do so diplomatically. July 24th, New Moon in Leo. On July 24th, at 9:42 a.m. ET, a very vibrant, spirited, and ambitious new moon occurs in Leo in your 6th house of the horoscope. Additionally, it will be in a lucky aspect with Saturn and Neptune. A new moon always brings something new, and in this case, new energy flows into your life for the entire lunar month. For your sign, this is an excellent time to start programs for restoring your physical and emotional strength. This new moon will give you a sense of relief, as if it's easier to breathe and even move. Any physical practices are very beneficial during this time. Even simply walking in the fresh air while thinking good thoughts is helpful. It's beneficial to do exercises, energetic practices, yoga, or qigong. This is also a good time for sports or outdoor excursions. The second area this new moon will affect is work matters. This is a very good time to start new work programs. Even if you're not planning to actively implement them yet, this is a time to think everything over again and prepare thoroughly. It's truly a good time for those who plan to start something work-related. Even if you only have ideas about your future employment that lack specifics for now, these ideas will gain clarity later. It's beneficial to think about them now. July 25, Sun opposite Pluto. On July 25, the Sun will be in a tense opposition to Pluto. This aspect will affect your 6th and 12th astrological houses. This is a tense, pivotal aspect, but it's quite fast-moving, occurring once a year. This is a time when you might feel forced to oppose, resist, or overcome something, which can lead to a feeling of fatigue. For your sign, this could be a struggle with routine, monotony, or habits. The habits of people around you might cause irritation. During this time, your partner's schedule or the schedule of someone whose daily routine affects your plans might change. You might also take on a new task that adds to your usual workload. This could feel like the last straw of your patience. It's important to try and spend this day as calmly as possible and not plan anything major. July 31st, Sun conjoins retrograde Mercury. On July 31st, the Sun will be in conjunction with retrograde Mercury in your 6th house of the horoscope. This is a time for the birth of ideas and plans that can be realized in the next 3 or 4 months. These could be ideas related to reorganizing your workspace or the overall rhythm of your life and employment. These could also be plans related to reorganizing your household routine or the division of responsibilities within your family. On this day, you'll gain an understanding that you can achieve more in much shorter periods if you approach these matters correctly. In other words, you'll realize that what's missing is proper organization of your day. You might also have new plans related to a healthy lifestyle, such as ideas for a specific diet, type of nutrition, or the best time of day for physical activity. July 16th, Saturn, Neptune stationing retrograde. This month, the planets Saturn and Neptune will be stationary for a while. They will turn retrograde so that they can visit your sign again, albeit briefly. For your sign, this can create a feeling that the universe briefly changed since late March 2025, that it became different, but now it feels like everything is reverting to how it was. But rest assured, this is temporary, as both Saturn and Neptune will return to your sign for only a few months soon. Neptune, your ruling planet, will be stationary from July onest to July 12th. This is a time of prophetic dreams. This is a time when much becomes clear. It's a period when we take off our rose-colored glasses or situations arise where we can no longer deceive ourselves and we need to face the truth. This is a time when the last uncertainties will dissipate and everything will become absolutely clear. That's your astrological outlook for July 2025, my dear Pisces. I wish you a wonderful, successful month. If this forecast was helpful to you, put a like and press the bell. Subscribe to the Zodiac Soul Insights channel and get a plus in karma from the universe. Share in the comments. Was this forecast helpful to you? And how much coincides with your events? See you in the next video. May the stars be on your side.